Okay, let's get into this. You might think those math concepts from college, like differentiation and integration.
Yeah, the ones from that specific chapter, maybe.
Exactly. They can feel pretty abstract, right? Sort of stuck in the classroom.
Definitely.
But what if we told you those exact tools have really practical uses? I mean, direct applications in fields you wouldn't maybe expect, like environmental technology.
Oh, absolutely. We've been looking at sources that draw a clear line, linking these, well, powerful math concepts to real environmental problems,
Uh-huh.
specifically looking at how they're used in forest resources technology.
Right. And this is where it gets fascinating. How are these, seemingly abstract math tools,
Integration, specifically.
yes, integration, which the source highlights, how is that used for managing forests and for understanding something so critical like carbon storage?
Yeah, it's really interesting how the source presents integration as, well, fundamental in this
It's
context.
fundamental. How so?
It says, quite directly, that it's used to calculate the total carbon stock over a forest area.
The total carbon stock across an entire area.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty big, complex thing to measure.
It is.
We usually think of integration as, finding the area under a curve or maybe summing up loads of tiny pieces. How does that leap to finding carbon in, like, trees and soil?
Precisely that summing idea. Think about it. Carbon isn't spread evenly across a forest, right?
No, of course not. It'd vary a lot.
Exactly. Depends on the tree size, the species, the soil type, maybe how old the stand is, lots of things.
Hmm.
Integration lets you take measurements of carbon density, maybe in tons per hectare, from different points or plots across the forest.
Okay, so you're not just taking a few samples and averaging, which might miss the mark for a big, varied forest.
Precisely. Averaging might not cut it. Integration gives you the mathematical way to rigorously sum up those different carbon densities
Right.
across the entire area, even if it's huge or irregularly shaped. It's like adding up all those tiny bits of carbon per unit area.
To get one complete number. Yes, one comprehensive figure. The grand total carbon stock for that whole region.
And that total number is what's important.
Absolutely crucial. That's the figure you need for things like carbon sequestration reports, maybe carbon markets, or just understanding the forest's climate role.
Ah, okay. So integration is the tool that scales up all those local measurements. It gives you the real full picture of the total resource across that space.
You got it. It sounds like it's pretty indispensable for getting the environmental accounting right.
It really is. It takes that concept, the one from the calculus textbook that feels abstract,
Yeah.
and makes it totally concrete. It gives us a way to actually quantify a vital ecological metric,
Mhm.
one with, frankly, global implications.
Well said.
So what's the takeaway here for you listening? It's that these math concepts, differentiation and especially integration, they aren't just theory.
Not at all.
Integration in particular is a foundational tool. It provides the actual means to calculate and manage critical environmental resources,
Like the total carbon stock across these complex forest areas. It's happening right now in fields like forest resources technology.
which really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does, and maybe this raises a question for you to ponder. If integration is so good at measuring a total quantity, like carbon,
Accumulated over an area like a forest.
right, then what other kinds of environmental resources or quantities, maybe things that vary across space or perhaps even over time, might we be able to measure and manage using similar powerful mathematical approaches?